Share it. Don't wear it, please. It's time to speak up about mental health. Be confident. Believe in yourself. To the men and women in blue behind the badge, those who risk it all to keep our families and community safe, we love you and thank you. But if you are struggling, please tell someone. You are the bravest among us, and even heroes need help sometimes. Hello and welcome. Today I'll be talking matters health, mental health, and specifically the mental health of police officers in Kenya. According to the World Health Organization, health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease and infirmity. The CDC explains that mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being, and it affects how we think, feel, and act. It also helps determine how we handle stress, how we relate to others, and how we make healthy choices. Mental health and physical health are equally important components of our overall health. For example, depression increases the risk for many types of physical health problems, particularly long-lasting conditions like diabetes, heart diseases, and stroke. Health People 2020 states that mental health is a state of successful performance of mental function, resulting in productive activity, fulfilling relationships with others, and the ability to adapt to change and to cope with challenges. Mental health is essential to personal well-being, family and interpersonal relationships, and the ability to contribute to community and society. While mental disorders are health conditions that are characterized by alterations in thinking, mood, or behavior that are associated with distress or impaired functioning, mental health contributes to a host of problems that may include disability, pain, or even death. Mental illness is described as the spectrum of cognitive, emotional, and behavioral conditions that interfere with social and emotional well-being and the lives and productivity of individuals, and can seriously impair, either temporarily or permanently, the mental functioning of a person. The other synonyms of mental health or mental health disorders are mental illnesses, mental health problems, or mental health dysfunctioning. There are many factors that contribute to mental health disorders, and these include genetics, where a mental illness runs in the family, or childhood trauma. Even if you are no longer in a stressful environment, things happen. They could have happened to you in your childhood that impact you in later in life. Also, stressful events like losing a loved one or even being in a car accident. Negative thoughts, constantly putting yourself down or expecting the worst, can get you stuck in a cycle of depression or anxiety. Unhealthy habits also are not good. They are likely like not getting enough sleep or not eating. Drugs and alcohol. Abusing drugs and alcohol can trigger a mental illness and can also make it harder to recover from mental illnesses. Brain chemistry. Mental illness involves an imbalance of natural chemicals in your brains and body. But last and not leastly, environment. Living in a stressful environment can make you more likely to develop a mental illness. Things like living in poverty or having an abusive family put a lot of stress on our brain and may trigger a mental illness. Working in a stressful condition could push an individual to burst. For example, law enforcers, who being humans just like us and are fast responders to traumatic conditions, they are at a higher risk of experiencing mental health problems. Police officers are much more likely to die by suicide than they are to be killed in the line of duty. Stress pushes police officers into drug and alcohol abuse, which can trigger suicides or homicides. Dr. Vincent Makoha, the Director Chaplaincy and Psychosocial Support at Kenya Police Service, says that mental health is generally a human problem, and it is not talked about so much on others than it is on police officers, because they are special service providers that are required to be focused, sober, and normal in order to provide proper services. Currently in Kenya, not much research has been conducted to look at the mental well-being of law enforcers. Although the trend is changing, as the President of Kenya, President Uhuru Kenyatta, in 2019 by an executive order declared mental health a national disaster and established a mental health task force to assess Kenya's mental health systems, including the legal, policy, and administrative environment, to identify areas that benefit from reform for optimal delivery. The journey towards transforming mental health care systems in Kenya gathered momentum on the July 9th, 2021, following the launch of the Kenya Mental Health Action Plan 2021 to 2025. Ministry of Health Chief Administrative Secretary Dr. Mercy Mwangangi unveiled a 74-page document and pointed out that mental health remains an integral pillar in the country's health system and socio-economic development. She also called for concerted efforts to boost mental health care systems through investment, dedication, and planning for resources, coordination, oversight, awareness creation, and advocacy. Dr. Mercy Mwangangi noted that a task force report on mental health in the county found glaring gaps in mental health systems, and therefore the plan will address these challenges by setting out targets to increase mental health financing through various mechanisms, including the national government's universal health care. Brothers and sisters, the future in Kenya looks bright, and thank you.